Hey y'all! So today I'm going to be doing the Jennifer Lawrence book tag. I was not tagged by anyone, but I decided to do it because the question sounded like fun. This tag was created by Michael Booklion, and I will leave a link in the description to his original video. So all of the questions in this tag are based on aspects of Jennifer Lawrence's life. So this should be pretty fun. So question number 1 is Jennifer Lawrence grew up in Kentucky. Name your favorite book that takes place in a rural setting. And this actually took me quite a while to figure out a book that takes place in a rural setting. But then I remembered I had Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. Yeah. It takes place on an island, or the majority of it takes place on an island that's off the coast of the UK. And there are like 10 people that live there. Okay, that's an exaggeration, but it's a small island and not many people live there. So yeah, Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. Question number 2 is Jennifer Lawrence was found on the streets of New York City. Name a book that you just found while browsing and ended up loving. And for this one, I'm definitely going to have to go with 13 Reasons Why by J. Asher. Now the question specifies that this is a little known book. And while I think this is fairly well known on like BookTube and it's a fairly well known book, I found this like right when it came out, and I don't think it was very hyped when it first came out. I'm not sure because it's been out for quite a while now, but yeah, I discovered this at Barnes & Noble one day, maybe right after it came out because it was in the like new book area, and I thought that the concept was really intriguing, but I didn't get it right away because it was like $14 or something. Hardbacks are expensive. And then I just randomly found it while browsing at Half Price Books maybe a couple months later, and I was like, oh hey, I saw this book and it looked interesting and it's only $7 here, so I got it and I read it and I absolutely loved it. Okay, question number 3. Jennifer Lawrence has sworn off social media. Name a book that you refuse to read. And for this one I actually had to dig in a drawer where I keep some books that I'm planning to sell. Maybe I'll do an unhaul soon, I'm not sure, I need to get a few more books. Anyway, that book is Beautiful Creatures. I got this about a year ago because I'd heard a lot about it on BookTube, and honestly I didn't know a ton about it, but I did know that it was a fantasy, and I was like, hey, I like fantasy and it's $4, why not? And then I watched some more videos and I saw that even though a lot of people really liked this one, the general consensus was that the rest of the series was terrible. Now, not only do I not want to read it because I don't want to read a terrible series, but all of the bad hype has just pushed me away from even reading this first one even though people said it was good. I just don't want to bother with a series that supposedly is terrible except for the first book. It's not worth my time, so why even read the first one? I'm not going to read it. Question number 4 is Jennifer Lawrence started out on TV and then transitioned into film. Name a series that got better with every installment. And this one was possibly the easiest one to choose for me, because that is 100% definitely the Infernal Devices trilogy. I talk about Cassandra Clare a lot, but hear me out. I really liked this entire trilogy, but it definitely started out slower and just built to this amazing conclusion. Like, I liked the first book, and the second book got even better, but this third book was absolutely amazing. And it was just a slow descent up into a really, really amazing conclusion. So question number 5 is Jennifer Lawrence tripping at the Oscars. Name a book or series that hit a snag. So it was really hard to pick a book for this because I feel like rather than just hitting a snag, when a series starts going downhill, it just keeps going downhill. So what I ended up choosing for this was Pendragon Book 9, which is Ravenrise, by DJ McHale. There's a big shift in focus in this book from the 8 previous books, and it took me a while to figure out how I felt about that and if I even liked the direction that the series was going after this. And this isn't even my least favorite book in the series. I still really like this book. It's just that little snag of the change made it confusing as to how I felt about the series. And the 10th book ended up being absolutely amazing, and so I feel like it was just, this book was just a tiny bit of a little snag within a really amazing series. Question number 6 is Jennifer Lawrence and Chris Martin. Name your favorite book by a collaboration of authors. And it took me a while to figure out what even to choose for this because I didn't think I had very many author collaborations on my shelf, and even less that I really enjoyed. However, when I saw this book, it became painfully obvious, and that is Unsaid Things, Our Story by McFly. McFly is these lovely 4 gentlemen that you see on the cover, and as I've said in other videos, they are my absolute favorite band. All four of them trade off within this novel, and it has little excerpts saying Tom, Harry, Dougie, Danny. And it's just a really enjoyable read, especially if you are a McFly fan. If you're not a McFly fan, there's probably no point in reading this, but if you are a McFly fan, I feel like this is a must read. It's such a great story about how the band progressed over 10 years, and I just really love it. I need to reread this because it's been a while since I've read it, but like I said, I absolutely love it. And these four aren't exactly like brilliant authors, but it is really great getting to see all four of their perspectives. Question number 7 is Jennifer Lawrence's work with David O. Russell. Name a dysfunctional character that you can't help but love. Now, unfortunately, I couldn't really find a character because the character I wanted to choose I'm actually using for the next question. However, I decided to change the question a little bit to dysfunctional character I can't help but hate because I couldn't find one for love. Anyway, that character is Juliet from Shatter Me. I don't like Juliet. I'm sorry. I don't know what else to say. I'm just not a fan of Juliet overall. Sorry. Number 8 is her character Mystique from X-Men. Name a villain who thinks that they're doing what's right. And for this one, I'm going to give a broad sweeping spoiler warning for the Across the Universe trilogy. If you've not read it, I'm going to probably talk about stuff from all 3 books. Also, I don't want to give a spoiler as to which book this is from. If you have not read the Across the Universe trilogy, mute the video until I put this hand down. So the Across the Universe trilogy. I picked Orion. First of all, I wanted to pick Orion for the last question because I absolutely love Orion as a character. He was one of my favorite characters in the series. Anyway, Orion really thought that he was doing the right thing, and I think he genuinely did think that he was doing the right thing, and I felt really bad about his fate because I really liked him as a character. So yeah, Orion, poor Orion. He just thought he was doing what's right. Okay, spoiler over. Question number 9 is The Hunger Games. Name your favorite high-profile series. Can you guess what it is? It's Harry Potter. I love Harry Potter. Harry Potter is absolutely my all-time favorite series and my all-time favorite high-profile series. Harry Potter. I would get it out, but they're all really big. And the last question, question number 10, is everything she's ever said. Name a funny or snarky character. And for this one I have 2 favorites, both of them from the same series. First one is the lovely, lovely Magnus Bane. I absolutely love Magnus Bane, and I'm very glad that he's been in all of Cassandra Clare's Shadowhunter books so far, because I think he is just so hilarious, and I love him. He's great. I love Magnus Bane. And the second one is the ever so wonderful Jace from the Mortal Instruments series. I prefer Jace over both Will and Jim from the Infernal Devices, and I just think he's the best. I love how snarky and sarcastic he is, and I think he's absolutely wonderful. I love Jace. So there you go, that was the Jennifer Lawrence book tag. I really enjoyed doing this because it had some really interesting and unique questions that I haven't seen in many book tags. I'm not going to tag anyone, but if you are watching this and you want to do it, feel free to. I will leave a link to my blog down in the description if you want to check that out. I will also leave a link to my Goodreads, so if you want to, you can add me as a friend on Goodreads. I would love to be friends on Goodreads. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!